Hey there, fellow Americans. Tonight we're diving into a topic more secretive than Area 51. Buckle up as we explore The Creature from Jekyll Island by G. Edward Griffin, a book that pulls back the curtain on the Federal Reserve. Now, I know what you're thinking. John, the Federal Reserve, that sounds about as exciting as watching paint dry. But trust me, this stuff is important. It's about understanding the machinery behind our money and how it can affect everything from your grocery bill to your retirement plans. The book's central theme, the creature itself, is the Federal Reserve. Griffin uses this metaphor to illustrate the power dynamics at play within our financial system. Let's rewind the clock to 1910, a time when handlebar mustaches were all the rage, and the idea of a central bank was about as popular as a skunk at a picnic. Picture a group of powerful financiers meeting in secret on Jekyll Island, a secluded island off the coast of Georgia. Their mission? To create the Federal Reserve System. Now you might be wondering, why all the secrecy? Well, that's a question that has fueled conspiracy theories for decades. Griffin argues that this clandestine meeting was evidence of a desire to shield the true nature of the Federal Reserve from public scrutiny. He suggests that the founders wanted to establish a system where a select few could exert significant control over the nation's money supply without the interference of pesky things like democratic oversight. Whether or not you buy into the conspiracy theories, the fact remains that the Federal Reserve was born out of secrecy and has operated with a high degree of autonomy ever since. Now, let's talk about money, specifically the green stuff in your wallet. Before the Federal Reserve, the United States operated on a gold standard. This meant that our currency was backed by a tangible asset, gold. However, the Federal Reserve ushered in the era of fiat currency. Fiat currency, unlike gold-backed money, derives its value from the government's declaration that it is legal tender. It's essentially a promise to pay, backed by nothing more than the government's word. Now, this isn't inherently a bad thing, but, as Griffin points out in Chapter 25, it does create a dangerous potential for inflation. See, when you don't have to back your currency with a finite resource like gold, you can print as much of it as you want. And that's where the trouble starts. When more money floods the system, it can lead to a decrease in the value of each individual dollar. That means your hard-earned cash buys less and less over time. Sound familiar? Yeah, that's inflation rearing its ugly head. Section 4. Trapped in the Vortex, the Peril of Perpetual Debt. Here's where things get really interesting, folks. One of the most alarming aspects of the Federal Reserve System, according to Griffin, is the creation of a perpetual debt cycle. See, the Fed lends money to the government, but here's the kicker. It lends this money at interest. Now, where does the government get the money to pay back this interest? You guessed it. It borrows even more money from the Fed, creating a never-ending cycle of debt. This system, Griffin argues, benefits a select few at the expense of the many. Think of it like this. Imagine you're constantly racking up credit card debt to pay off the interest on your existing credit card debt. Not exactly a recipe for financial stability, right? Griffin warns that this perpetual debt cycle can have dire consequences for the economy, potentially leading to hyperinflation and economic collapse. Section 5, Navigating the Financial Storm, Strategies for Personal Protection. Okay, so we've covered some pretty heavy stuff. Now you're probably wondering, John, how do I protect myself from all this economic doom and gloom? Well, fear not, dear viewers. There are things you can do to weather the financial storm. First and foremost, diversify your assets. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Explore alternative investments like precious metals, real estate, or cryptocurrencies. Educate yourself about personal finance. Knowledge is power. Learn about budgeting, investing, and managing debt. Finally, live below your means. Avoid unnecessary debt, prioritize saving, and build a solid financial foundation. Section 6. Knowledge is power. Embracing financial literacy and adaptability. In a world where the only constant is change, financial literacy and adaptability are your greatest assets. The more you understand about the financial system, the better equipped you'll be to navigate its complexities and protect your financial well-being. Don't be afraid to ask questions, challenge assumptions, and seek out knowledge from reliable sources. Remember, the financial world can seem like a confusing and intimidating place, but it doesn't have to be. By empowering yourself with knowledge and embracing a flexible mindset, you can weather any economic storm. So stay informed, stay adaptable, and remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to your money. That's our show for tonight, folks. Thanks for watching.